Good morning, students. This is Pankaj Singh. Today I am explain class 9th exercise 1.2 question number first, page number 8. The question number first is says state whether the following statements are true or false. Justify your answer. If it is that statements only true or false, then I am saying no need to write the notes, but it is the important things, so you have to write because there is a justification also. So first you write the every rational number is a real number. True, because the reason of this one, since the collection of real number is made up of rational and irrational number, as we know that irrational number is made up of that rational and irrational number. Second is every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. False, because as a negative number cannot be expressed as the square roots of any number. As we know that the negative is not a root of any numbers, so it is a false. Third is every real number is a irrational number. False, it is also false, because as a real number include both rational and irrational number, therefore the every real number cannot be an irrational number. So you write like that. Question number 2. Are the square roots of all positive integers irrational? If not, give an example of the square roots of number that is a rational number. So that statement is, you write like that in your notes. If number such as a root 4, because root 4 is the root of 2, root 9 is equal to 3, because the root 9 is root of 3, are the considered, then here 2 and 3 are rational number, thus the square roots of all positive integers are not irrational. As the first video I explained, simple digit also rational number, because 2 we can write 2 upon 1, because it is also written p upon q forms. So 2 also rational number, 3 also rational number. Show root 5 can be represented on the number line. Yes, first we find the nearest of root 5. The nearest of root 5 is root 4, because root 4 is the square of 2, and that 3 square is 9, so it is so far, so nearest is root 4. So we know that root 4 is equal to root 2, and root 5 is equal to 2 square, 2 to the 4 plus 1 square is 1 only, so root 5. So now I put the process of that video with video, you see, and represent in your copy.
Hi there. Well, here we need to represent square root of 5 on the number line. Well, how can we achieve that? The number here given, square root of 5, is an irrational number. Well, why can you say that? And based on what logic can you say that? Well, the thing is that whenever the square root of any prime number is taken, where 5 happens to be a prime number here, then remember that square root of any prime number is always an irrational number. Okay, so how can we represent this? Well, irrational number, you know, they are non-terminating and non-recurring patterns, right? So the rule is like, if you want to plot, let's say, square root of n, where n is any positive integer, if you need to plot square root of n or represent this on the number line, then it becomes quite easy if you already know where square root of n minus 1, n minus 1 means the predecessor of n, right, n minus 1. If you already know where this lies on the number line exactly, then it's quite easy to represent square root of n. Well, let's look at this with the help of this example. So here we need to plot square root of 5. So we can say that n here is equal to 5. So what is the predecessor of 5? n minus 1? It is 4. So in order to plot square root of n, which is square root of 5 in our example, well, if we have square root of n minus 1 already there, which is equivalent to square root of 4, happens to be 2, well, if we know where 2 is exactly on the number line, we can easily plot this. How? Well, see it. See 2, it's a quite easy plot, right? Let me draw a number line here. There it is. This is 0. Let's say this is 1. At unit distances we have consecutive integers, so on, -1, -2, and so on. Okay, well, I hope you can easily see where 2 is. It's right here. Well, what are the next steps? The next step is that we draw a perpendicular of unit length. We draw a perpendicular of unit length. What is a unit length? Like you can see, these consecutive integers are separated by unit lengths. We draw a perpendicular of same this unit length at this point, at this orange point. Let's say there it is. After doing that, we join the tip of this perpendicular with the point 0, like that. After it is achieved, we measure the length of this point. Let me call this point 0 as A, this point as B. We measure this as the radius of our compass and cut an arc to the right side of this red perpendicular. So it will come out, this arc that you will get will be somewhere here, like that. Okay, so what is this arc? Well, this arc is just a part of a circle whose radius is AB, right? Well, how can you tell that this length, let's call this point for a while, this point here which intersected with the number line, let's call this D. Let me do that with a darker color. There it is, D. Okay, so what is the proof that AD is square root of 5? Well, the proof is quite simple. This red perpendicular, as you can see, along with AB, it makes, and also the number line, it makes a right angle triangle. We know the length of this perpendicular is 1 unit. We know the base, this length, being 2 units. So the hypotenuse, well, I hope you all can calculate that. Hypotenuse will be square root of 2 square plus 1 square. 2 square is 4, 1 square is 1, so 4 plus 1 is 5. So basically I can write this as square root of 5. So there you go. We have the radius of compass, which is AB, as square root of 5. So if we take this measure and cut an arc on the number line, it will guarantee to give you this distance from the point A to the point D, this distance AD. This will definitely be square root of 5. I hope you got that.
I hope you understand of this concept, because first we have to take unit length. Unit length means जो इनके बीच की डिस्टेंस हैं 1 और 2, जो 1 सेंटीमीटर डिस्टेंस है उसको यूनिट लेंथ बोलते हैं. यूनिट लेंथ को परपेंडिकुलर फाइंड करके उसको रेडियस जितना O से लेके B तक है, जो 0 से लेके B तक है, उतना सेम रेडियस लेके आर्क करना है. जो अपना पॉइंट्स जो अभी वीडियो में दिखाया था D पॉइंट है, और उसका परपेंडिकुलर खींचना है, और ये एग्जैक्ट होगा जो √5 के इक्वल होगा. अंडरस्टैंड. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. राइट द फॉलोइंग इन डेसिमल फॉर्म एंड से व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डेसिमल एक्सप्रेशन ईच हैज़. दोज नंबर इज डिविजिबल फुली दैट कॉल्ड अ टर्मिनेटिंग, मीन्स जिसका कोई रिमाइंडर नहीं बचता उसको टर्मिनेट बोलते हैं, और जिसका रिमाइंडर बार बार आता है उसको नॉन टर्मिनेट बोलते हैं. अंडरस्टैंड. So now we will divide 36 by 100. So that should be not divide, so 0 is coming. Then again 360, so 3 times we will divide, so 300 remain is 6. Then after 6 will be divided, that 6 times, because 600 is there, so we get 0.36. You do the rough work in your notes. I hope you understand this concept. We divide simply 36 by 100, so we get 0.36. Then there is, now we see there is no remainder, so it is a terminating. In second case we have to see that 1 divided by 11, then 0, then again 0 9 0 9, then again 1 remainder is coming. If you do the rough work, you see that things there is again and again that same number is repeat. I want in your notes every question rough work. So while you have to see that there is again and again 1 remainder is coming, so it is a non-terminating repeating decimals. In each question you do the rough work. Okay, the process I needs for left side in your notes. Okay, I put one video, then you understand how we get this one.
Hi there. Well, here they are asking write the following in decimal form and say what kind of decimal expansion each has after 2 decimal places. So we can also add that the decimal expansion is terminating and hence it's a rational number. Well, what if the decimal expansion does not terminate? Look at the second one, which is 1 upon 11. Look at the denominator, which is a prime number. Okay, so remember this is a quite important or I would like to point out quite an important form of rational number where the denominator is a prime number and the numerator is always a 1. So if you compare it with the standard form p by q, p happens to be 1 and the denominator q is any prime number. This quantity 1 upon a prime number, just remember it, because we're gonna have this proof later in the class 10. The thing is that 1 upon any prime number apart from 2 and 5. So if there is any prime number in the denominator apart from 2 and 5, this quantity will always have a decimal expansion which will never terminate. Okay, and it will always be a recurring non-terminating decimal expansion. Let me write that here for you. Recurring and non-terminating. So you may jot it down. And we also know that recurring and non-terminating decimal expansion are those for rational numbers. Yes, exactly. So by the way, what is 1 upon 11? 1 upon 11 is basically, let me write that here for you. It is 0.09090 and it continues like this. So you would see here that 09, this block of 2 digit keeps on recurring, right? So we may also write this in short as 0.09 bar. There you go. Okay. And what about the third?
The third number, you see, there is a mixed fraction. So first you have to convert mixed fraction to proper fraction. 8 4 ja 32 plus 1 33 upon 8. Then you do that. Which one it is? So it is a terminating. You do the rough work also, this one. Okay. So now this one, question number first is the fill in the blanks, then we have to leave that. And question number 2, you know that 1/7 is that answer 0.142857 bar. Can you produce when the decimal expression 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7 are without actually doing the long division? If so, then how? There is given hint also. The remember of the while finding the value of 1/7 carefully. So 2/7 we multiply by 2. We see one pattern here. While you have to multiply 0.142857, you get 285714. Then this one is terminate, it is turn. Then while we multiply 3, then we start for 4. Then after 4, you see 428571. While we have to multiply, then it's repeat wise 5. Then 571428. Then after 7, you see 714 the first series, 714. Then again we have to turn that 714285. So you draw the pattern of like that, then you find the pattern of this question without actual division method. Understand? Next, express the following the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integer and Q is not equal to 0. It is the definition of the rational number. So 0.6 bar. The solution of this one, 0.6 bar. So we have to take a 6 again and again. So let us x is equal to 0.66, because 6 is many times. So on many times we have to take 3 times. So while we have to reduce 0.6 divided by 10, that point should be goes out. So here 10 is equal to 6, because while we have to divide by 10, so 10 is the left side, and there 6.3 times 6. Then 10x, we have to take a x is equal to 666. So we have to add this one. 10x is equal to 6 plus x. Then while we have to subtract 10x minus x, it will be 9x, and there is a 6 is remain. So x is equal to 2/3. How? Because while we have to cut by 3 table, 9/6. 6/9. So 3 2s are 6, then 3 3s are 9. So it will be 2/3. The answer is of this one 2/3. Once again I recall, this one's 0.6 bar. It means this one is again and again. This number is again and again. So consider x is equal to 0.66. While we have to reduce the point, we divide by 10. So 10x is equal to 6.666. Then 10x minus x is equal to 9x, and here is 6. While we have to divide by 3, 6/9, 3 2s are 6, and 3 3s are 9. So answer it will be 2/3. Same as a 0.47. So it is your homework, you do in your notes. Okay, there is a little bit change, so I explain the question number second also. There is a 0.47, and 0.47 is equal to 0.47, because there is bar of 7. Then 477. Then while we have to reduce the point of 4/10 plus 0.77 divided by 10. So let x is equal to 0.77. Same process is there. We take 10x, then there is 777. 0.77 it is equal to x. That this one also transport that another side. So 10x minus x is equal to 9x, and there is 7 remain. Now this number is not cut, so the answer is 7/9 only. Okay, you do in notes this question. Same question of 4. Express 999 in the form of P upon Q. You also do this one. It is your homework. Okay? I show the solution, but you do by heart. I hope you understand, and you do the exercise 1.2 fully in your notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.